Welcome to our brief webinar on what has become a major problem, not only in families, but in society at large, and that's emotional reactivity. A way to understand emotional reactivity is a negative feeling in one family member for any reason can have absolutely nothing to do with other family members, but that negative feeling is going to cause negative reactions in others. That leaves little room for transient negative feelings, which are a part of almost daily life, or occasional bad moods, which happen to all of us. And it leaves hardly any space at all for self-regulation. So when you get this automatic reaction to any negative feeling you're having, you don't get a chance to self-regulate it because your partner or family members reacting to you, and then you're reacting to the reaction, and nobody is being who they really want to be. When emotional reactivity is high, we become what we despise. We react to a jerk like a jerk, respond rudely to rudeness, devalue when we feel devalued, accuse when we feel accused, and diagnose when we feel diagnosed. If you go on the internet and diagnose your partner with a personality disorder, your partner can do the same thing to you. When emotional reactivity is high, internet symptom checklists mislead and cause more harm than good. We manipulate when we feel manipulated, offend when we feel offended, try to silence when we feel unheard, and shame when we feel shame. Both sides feel as though they're merely reacting to the other, and sometimes take solace in the self-righteousness that blinds us. Emotional reactivity is never used for self-improvement. Rather, it's viewed as a get-out-of-jail-free card. It doesn't matter what I do in reaction to you. And too often, emotional reactivity creates that. All that matters is what you're doing wrong, not what I'm doing wrong, because I'm just reacting to you. The function of negative emotions can show us how it's easy to slip into emotional reactivity. Their function is to amplify, magnify, and oversimplify perceived trouble. They're processed more automatically and much faster than rational judgment. So they take a negative aspect of something and, by definition, blow it out of proportion because they're a better safe than sorry system. You'd rather be wrong 999 times thinking your partner's a saber-toothed tiger than be wrong once thinking a saber-toothed tiger is your partner. So they didn't evolve for accuracy. They evolved to exaggerate threat. All thought processes when we're experiencing negative emotions go to justifying the emotional reaction rather than analyzing or testing its reality. So we have this exaggerated response and then just justify it endlessly. In the experience of negative emotion, and that's mostly resentment, anger, anxiety, and sadness, our assumption about others are never completely accurate, and they're fraught with confirmation bias. That means we'll only look for evidence that confirms our bias and completely ignore or overlook evidence that disconfirms it. So to combat that, we have to ask ourselves crucial questions. What is my partner reacting to? So instead of making this immediate judgment about your partner, what is your partner reacting to? What are they perceiving me to be doing, in other words? What kind of person, partner, and parent do I want to be? I don't really want to react to a jerk like a jerk. I want to be a compassionate, kind, loving, supportive partner. Now, family versus social reactivity, chicken or the egg. This is a debate because certainly they interact. The high emotional reactivity and intolerance of polarization, I guess is what they're calling it, that is certainly influencing families, and any therapist who deals with families will tell you that since it's been so bad politically and with social issues, it's gotten worse for families. My professional experience, though, is that high emotional reactivity expands outward from the family, because I noticed it growing in families as high reactivity before it became such a polarized society. But that could be my personal self-selected sample of my population, because I deal with chronic resentment, anger, and emotional abuse. To escape high emotional reactivity, it's important to test your assumptions. Here's an example. My partner is selfish. That's the reactive judgment. What is my partner reacting to? How's my partner perceiving me? Does my partner think I'm selfish? Usually that's the case. If one of you believes the other is selfish, it's usually two-way. So I want to look for examples of my partner cooperating or behaving with compassion, because an autopilot confirmation bias is going to obscure those. Negative emotions also dominate recall. So on autopilot, you won't remember the positive things. You're just going to remember negative things. I'm going to look for examples of my partner being fair and respectful. So my new assumption is going to be, in core value, no one wants to behave badly. Instead of reacting and making everything worse, I'm going to act according to my deeper values and appeal to my partner to do the same. Let's try to be respectful, compassionate, and fair. Now, if resentment has become chronic in your relationship, you're probably not going to be able to do this. You've got to learn, practice self-regulation skills. And there's a lot of information about that on our website, compassionpower.com.